It's time for Catching Up with Carley, presented by Meijer. And today I am joined by West Michigan Whitecaps announcer Dan Hasty. How's it going, Dan?
Carley, what's going on? It's a big time in the Tiger system right now. We've got so many of these guys in West Michigan. It's crazy. 9 of the top 30 prospects are playing for the Whitecaps right now. I've never seen anything like this.
It's amazing. The future is looking very bright for the Tigers. A lot of standout prospects in the organization, as you mentioned. So I want to touch on a few of them. I handpicked a few that I wanted to bring up, and then we'll see some guys you're keeping your eye on. First up, catcher Dylan Dingler, who was just named High A Central Player of the Week. I know I went through your Twitter tweets, and I know you love this guy.
Well, in my esteemed professional broadcast opinion, hold on a sec. Dylan Dingler is a dude, okay? This guy is unbelievable. Okay, I don't need these, but you get the idea. This guy is a bona fide big leaguer at some point down the road. I've had some comps, and I won't name names on who said this, but I actually had a very, very smart baseball executive throw Lance Parrish's name into the conversation when talking about Dylan Dingler. So, of course, does he have a lot of work to get there? Yeah, of course he does. But this is a guy who could potentially be not just a good player in the major leagues, but maybe one of those building block type of pillars that the Tigers just so desperately need.
Right. I feel like catcher position is a position that the Tigers are really keeping their eyes on in the next few years. And of course, though, we have to talk about the Tigers' 2020 first overall draft pick, Spencer Torkelson, who had a quiet start with the Whitecaps, but seems to be stepping into his own, looking for a promotion, really.
You know, here's what nobody talks about with Spencer Torkelson is that, yeah, he's hitting 250, but he's getting on base better than any other player in West Michigan. And the on-base percentage, if you've ever seen the movie Moneyball, we know the importance of getting on base. And that's what Spencer Torkelson does. He leads the league in walks, or at the moment I believe he's right near the top, but he continues to just find ways to have good quality at-bats. He's starting to hit the baseball much harder. He had 4 doubles last week. He also hit a 442-foot home run. The power is there. He's just starting to learn to tap into it. It's a hard recalibration to go from playing in the Pac-12, which was where Spencer Torkelson was playing a couple of years ago now, but now to be playing against some of the best players in all of minor league baseball, it's like night and day. And it's amazing to see how some of these guys are starting to figure it out. There is an adjustment period, but they're starting to figure this whole thing out.
Absolutely. It's not easy to transition league to league, but he's slotted at 5th in the Baseball America's top 10 overall prospects. Do you think that's a good spot for him to be at?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, that's an aggressive ranking, but that's the kind of expectation that comes with being a number 1 overall pick. And I think it's justifiable. I think when you're the first player taken, that's where you need to be. And not only him, and we'll talk about this in a minute, but he's got company in the top 10. Baseball America just put Riley Green in the top 10. So now the Tigers are one of 2 teams in Major League Baseball that, according to Baseball America, has 2 of the best young players on the come up in Major League Baseball. But Spencer Torkelson is going to have to work very hard and have success to hold that spot as a number 5 overall prospect. But number 1 overall picks, they have a good tendency to make the big leagues and to have success once they get there. And I think what you're hoping for with Spencer is just that he can be that consummate corner infielder. He can hit you 30 home runs a season. He can drive in 100 runs. And he's a great kid. He's a lot of fun. People don't understand how funny this guy is. I think you guys are really going to have a good time once he gets to Detroit.
Well, I can't wait for that moment. And another guy you brought up in that top 10 list at number 10 is Riley Green, a great outfielder in this organization who has made a few highlight reel saves for the Tigers, whether it be in spring training or just the gameplay he's having right now. Is this someone that we could maybe see coming up wearing an old English tee on his sweater sometime soon?
You know, I don't think it's crazy to believe that Riley Green might be one of the best outfielders in the entire Tigers organization right now. I mean, in just having watched him, people don't realize that he's just 20 years old and he's playing in Double-A against guys 2, 3, 4, 5 years older. He's one of the youngest players at one of the highest levels of the minor leagues. And if you want to figure out why, Baseball America said, you know what? We had you as the number 23, 24 overall prospect. And you know what? I think that's too low. I think the fact that he's having that success, and this isn't me talking, this is Baseball America. This is them saying, we ranked you too low because the fact that you're having this kind of success at this kind of level is something that doesn't happen often. And it's unusual. But Riley, a super smart kid. And the thing I think I love most about watching Riley play and just listening to him is that he plays solely for his teammates. He's not out there looking for himself. He's not looking there for self-promotion or statistics or, if he goes 4 for 4 and his team loses, he's happy, that kind of player. He's just really all about getting the whole team's goals in mind, and I really like that about Riley. I think that's why he's going to be such a good player at the big league level, because it's not about him.
Absolutely. I mean, the future, like I said, is definitely bright for the Tigers. And speaking of outfielders, I do want to talk about Daniel Cabrera. He's off to a solid start. He has 3 home runs and 121 plate appearances with an 8.3 percentage walk rate against a 19% strikeout rate. So what are you seeing from him? And is he someone who do you think is going to continue to excel at this rate?
So Daniel Cabrera, you mean the former LSU Tiger turned Detroit Tiger? That's why we call him Daniel Tiger. So Daniel Tiger is one of the guys around here that he's a jack of all trades. He's just good. He's a good ball player. Can he hit? Yes. Can he hit for average? Yep. Power, he's got that. We've seen him hit some long home runs already this season. I like his throwing arm. He leads the Whitecaps in outfield assists. I think that's significant. Can he go and get it? Yes. They put him in center field the last couple of games. Parker Meadows has been away from the team, so Cabrera has been getting the call in center field. So I've noticed that. He also leads the team in stolen bases, or he's tied, I think, at the moment. So a little bit of everything. And you need guys like that to win you ball games. For so many different teams, they have guys who are great hitters, and they don't do much else. And it begs the question, when that guy comes to the ballpark that day, and let's say he goes 0 for 4, what value does that player bring your team on a given night? If they don't hit, and that's what they do, what are you bringing to the table? Well, Daniel Cabrera is this kind of player that even if he goes 0 for 4, he makes a diving catch. He throws a guy out. He gets on base and steals a base on a walk or something like that. Just little things to help you win every single night. And those kind of things, they don't take days off.
Oh, no, you can't take a day off in the league. The big leagues, though, that's the goal, and those guys don't take a day off. But those are my guys that I wanted to talk about, my players that I wanted to bring up. Who else are you keeping your eyes on?
Well, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, we've been, like I said, super lucky in West Michigan this year. We have 9 of the top 30 prospects. That's literally 10% of the Tigers' top 30. I like Bryant Packard. It was a 5th-round pick out of East Carolina. We call him the Packard plant because he keeps planting balls in the outfield. And, of course, you guys know about the Packard plant in Detroit. But he got off to a good start this year. He ended up getting dinged up. He was a little bit nicked up over the last week or so, but he's back. And, boy, this guy can hit the ball a really long way. Really like watching him. He makes a big ballpark in West Michigan look pretty small. Zach Hess, who's a reliever, just tons of strikeouts, just nasty stuff. He pitched at LSU, another former LSU Tiger, kind of like Daniel Cabrera. I also like Andre Lipsius, who was in West Michigan to start this season, but he got promoted to Double-A Erie, and in Double-A Erie, he's off to a great start. He's kind of like a Johnny Peralta type. He's not going to go diving for baseballs in the stands or taking away base hits up the middle by sprawling out, but you know what? When you hit the ball to him, he makes the play. He's very good at making that routine play, and he's not going to lose you ball games. And on top of it, he's a good hitter. So I'm excited about those guys, and I would say that Jason Foley, who just got the call up to the Tigers, that's somebody that's worth keeping an eye on, as is Derek Hill, because we had him in West Michigan for 3 seasons, and he put the Whitecaps on SportsCenter more than I think they had ever been. He is such a fun watch. I think you guys are going to really enjoy him.
I love it. And I know development is so important in these players' careers right now, but I cannot wait to see them in Detroit. But I do want to talk a little bit about you. Speaking of Detroit, you were at Comerica Park on the mic back in April. What was that experience like?
That was fun. I mean, that was certainly unexpected, and it was a great day. I mean, it was in what the Whitecaps hadn't started playing baseball at that point. So we had this kind of pocket in the schedule, which was unusual because in past years we had started in early April and the Whitecaps would have been playing a ball game that day. But because the Whitecaps hadn't started until May the 4th, and that was, I believe, April the 18th. No, I actually knew that off the top of my head. Don't let me fool you on that. But it was April 18th, because when you get that call, you remember that call. So, but yeah, of course, I was taking care of my daughter, and we were getting ready for a full day of, I think it was Veggie Tales or something called Little Baby Bum on Netflix. I don't know. But then the phone rang, and I'll tell you what, shout out to our babysitter who dropped everything to get over to our house that day. She's the real MVP.
I love it. Giving credit where credit is due. And I also do want to bring up the Road to Detroit series. Love that series. When can we expect another one?
Yeah, we're back. It's been a long time. I mean, it's been almost 2 years since we've had the Road to Detroit podcast. And over those 2 years, of course, the pandemic in 2020, no minor league baseball, we had a lot of people. I mean, once a week, I would get the question, hey, when's the Road to Detroit podcast coming back? And I was kind of that emoji, kind of like, eh. So, I mean, you really couldn't do anything about it. But now, of course, because people have wanted this back so badly, and they want to just hear something of hope, something of the potential for what this team can be at the major league level. A couple of years ago, we basically based the whole show around guys like Casey Mize and Tarek Skubal. And now here we are 2 years later, and look what they're doing. So it's up to us in a way to kind of give you tomorrow's newspaper today. And we can talk about these guys, we can tell you their stories, and we can get you excited about what you might have to look forward to at Comerica Park.
Absolutely. Well, there is a lot to look forward to at Comerica Park, and with the Whitecaps especially. Listening to you, thank you so much for joining me on Catching Up with Carley, presented by Meijer. It's been a really informative and fun chat.